Hey guys, welcome back to the show, and we've got a little bit of interesting news here. Apparently, Wizards of the Coast wants your kids playing Dungeons and Dragons. Lots, to the point that they're bringing it to school. We'll get to that in a minute, but of course I'd like to remind you that this video is sponsored by our friends at Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde makes the kind of adventures that they'd like to play, whether it's for the OSR, for 5th edition, or for Castles and Crusades. Old School is in play at the table with Hellebarde Games, and you can check them out on DriveThruRPG or on their website, hellebardegames.com. And of course, if you haven't, please do click the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. It helps us out a whole lot and helps spread the word about this channel. So let's have a gander at this. Apparently, Wizards of the Coast is really pushing an educational initiative, and this comes to us from CBR.com, and I will link the article down below. So let's have a gander at what's going on over there at Wizards of the Coast. Dungeons and Dragons is coming to classrooms all across the U.S. In collaboration with Adopt a Classroom, Wizards of the Coast announces a new initiative to bring its beloved tabletop game to over 200 U.S. classrooms. And that's, about what you could expect from D&D art today. Wizards of the Coast is partnering with a nonprofit Adopt a Classroom to bring Dungeons and Dragons to hundreds of high-needs classrooms throughout the United States. Since its founding in 1998, Adopt a Classroom has raised over $65 million for U.S. schools, collectively equipping over 6.4 million students for success in the classroom. In a recent press release, Wizards of the Coast and Adopt a Classroom announced new plans to provide select teachers from 200 different classrooms with the necessary materials for Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. Each package will include a player's handbook, a monster manual, a dungeon master's guide, a D&D essentials kit, D&D campaign cases, both creatures and terrain, and a D&D after-school club kit, which includes a copy of the D&D starter set Dragons of Stormwreck Isle. To have a chance at winning, teachers supporting classes from grades 4 to 12 must fill out this application, and of course they link to that over there. Underlying this initiative is the recognition that Dungeons and Dragons can be an effective teaching tool for students, as it requires efficiency in problem solving, literacy, and mathematics. Dungeons and Dragons is more than just a role-playing game that brings us together in our social lives, explained Wizards of the Coast President Cynthia Williams. It is a powerful learning tool that can be used inside and outside the classroom, offering social, emotional, and creative benefits. Through our partnership with adoptaclassroom.org, we are hoping to provide teachers the resources they need to offer fun and engaging ways to empower students. While games like D&D are invaluable resources for teachers, the additional costs are often substantial and not always covered by school budgets. Teachers spend an average of $860 of their own money on school supplies for their students each year, noted Ann Pfeiffer, executive director of adoptaclassroom.org. Teachers shouldn't have to spend so much out of pocket to ensure their students have the materials they need to learn. We are grateful to have partners like Dungeons and Dragons who step up to support educators and help equip students with the tools and materials they need to thrive in schools. Again, as I said in my earlier video, Dungeons & Dragons doesn't do anything. You probably meant Wizards of the Coast. In addition to D&D materials, winning teachers will also receive an additional $100 of credit for Adopt a Classroom online marketplace. The latest edition of D&D is Edition 5e, which launched in 2014. Currently, Wizards of the Coast is working on one D&D, which of course we all know will be 6th edition. Let's not kid ourselves about that. The next official evolution of the Dungeons & Dragons franchise, the core rulebook for this new edition, are expected to hit shelves in 2024. So, I have some thoughts on this, but of course, I'll want to hear yours down in the comments below. But my first thought is, I get it that Wizards of the Coast wants to make a big to-do and say, hey, we're out here, we're doing this for the kids, and so on and etc. But I'd really like to know why they're making this a contest that schools have to win. Digital copies cost Wizards of the Coast nothing. Nothing at all. They could just as easily give every school who requests one, as long as the teacher is able to present their credentials and tell them how many students they're going to have reading the books, just free copies. Just here you go. Here are the digital copies on one D&D. You know, we'll watermark them with your name or your school's name or whatever. And there you got them. I don't understand this Hunger Games of 200 students and 200 students only and one player's handbook in the package. That's going to go far. That's going to go real well. And who defines this at risk? Okay, I'm not spitting on Wizards of the Coast generosity. I'm just saying in an age when Wizards is pushing so hard on their digital initiative that it's oozing out into other parts of the hobby in a very unseemly way, the one time when I can see that this would be an absolute win with a capital W, they're not following up on it, and I really wish they would. This doesn't have to be some arbitrary selection of at-risk schools, and it's only 200. There are thousands of schools throughout the United States and tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of students that could benefit from this. Now, I will agree wholeheartedly with the article. Dungeons and Dragons is a great gateway for increasing literacy, for increasing math skills, for increasing problem solving, for meeting up with people, for having a positive outlet. It was for me back when I went and I bought my own copy of Keep on the Borderlands back in 1981. But of course, I'd like to know what you guys think. Please do leave a comment below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And again, if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications on future videos when they come out. But until then, guys, we might not need any education, but we absolutely need us a longsword +1 and a potion of healing. Peace.